Hello, everyone. Sorry, we're just a couple of minutes late there. I was like, quick, ran, ate. Amanda was there, ready with a cup of coffee and a sausage roll. And I was just like running around quick. And there was a little queue of everybody wanting to ask some quick questions. So massive apology. Amongst the trees, this little project. Now, this one came about because I did a little mini tree house on air, and I think David repeated it as well, and it made me want to do a die that was a true tree house. So you guys have all got this, and there's so much that we can do with it. So first of all, you've got some quite large dies in here, which we are all familiar with. And so I just want to talk through what I'm going to be using, because I'm going to use the whole of everything that I've got here. I've cut the treehouse body, the main body of it. I've cut it out a few times. But what I've also done is I've kept the pieces that drop out, and I've put these back inside with just a little bit of tape to hold them in place. So don't throw anything away, please, when you're working with it, because we're going to be using some of those for different things. So I've kept those. Because I want to show you some other different options. And we're going to make the tree house. I'm hoping I've got time to do it as another project and show you another scene. But had super fun playing with the roof and creating this as a 3D project. So I've got a few little tips for you. I've pulled out the reflections so that you can see the elements that we're talking about here. And the last thing that Amanda said to me before I came in here, and for those of you that don't know, Amanda's one of the lovely girls that I work with, lovely young lady. She's trying to organise me. She's got no chance. But what she's done is she's pulled all my flowers from this die, which is a floral gathering, because I'm going to use some of these in here. You can use any of the flowers that you've got. She said, make sure your roof doesn't leak. So top tip, make sure your roof doesn't leak. So I've got a few things here, first of all. So we're going to work on the main body of the treehouse. Now, we had this morning construction acetate on a half price deal, and I'm just going to give you guys the code just in case you haven't got it. It wasn't meant to be for this, but in case you need construction acetate, use code acetate50, because it means that you'll only pay 50%. I think it runs out on the 24th at midnight, something like that. So what have I got here? Well, so I've got two of the complete houses, and as I was showing you earlier, I've just glued in those pieces. Doesn't matter what kind of glue, I've just used some pink tape on it, doesn't matter what you're using. Then I've got one that is as the original that we need there, and I'm going to be cutting, I've got a few of these cut out, and I'm going to apologise that I'm cutting everything before, but there's a lot for me that I want to share with you in terms of tips and ideas, so I'm trying to do as much of it as possible. You're going to need quite a few pieces of roofing. And what I like is the way that this has been designed, because it's got those little cut lines on the other side, we can utilise this when we're actually going to be building our roof. But also the other thing is we can roll it and we can actually make ourselves some little logs as well. So that's another option that we've got there. This piece I'm going to use as a balcony, and I'm going to make my balcony come out so we can put different flowers on it. And there's a couple of things here as well. So I could just glue it on either side to make it so it domes. So if I go from flat to doming, that's one little way we could get a balcony. I've got my ladder here, and it allows us to make the treehouse quite tall. I've shortened mine a little bit. I've got a few other bits and pieces I just found in my stash. I've got my my pretend ladder, my play ladder. So this is the one that you use to get up and down if you're living up here, and this is the one that you use to just play. few pieces of acetate, which I'll talk to you about, and then loads of other stash that I'm going to work with. But the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to build the actual tree house itself. So I want this to be freestanding up here all by itself. So the first part of this story is to work with the 2 solid tree houses, but we need to build the roof before we do anything else. So you need to take your roof panels, and you're going to need, well, you're going to need a few because I'm going to overlap them, and I'm also going to be using them as making sure that it doesn't rain. So I'm going to do them like this. So I originally started like this, and I was like, oh, that's not going to work because it's going to leak rain down there. So I'm going to do them like that. To start with, I'm just going to roll so that I've got a little square there. I'm going to roll that round, and it's 2 pieces. So that's one, that's the second one. So I need 2 pieces of that, and we're going to put some tape on. So if you get your liner tape, it should be the right width to go on 2 of those little pieces like that. So I'm going to do this on that one and this side. So I'm making a pair, okay? So that's the first part that I've been doing. I'm just going to take the liner tape, just pulled it back from that edge. So I didn't stick it down really hard. I'm just going to pull it back from there so you can see, look, it's just there. Pull it back on this edge. There. So that it doesn't go over the edges. And I'm going to take the back off it. Whoops, actually, yeah, that's the right way. I'm going to take the back off it from the bottom. So to there, like that. So if I fold that back now, you can see what I've done. And I'm going to take this one, and I'm looking at the length, and I need this to go over that edge there. So it's got to come, otherwise the rain's going to go in the house. So it's going to go like that, okay? So I've got it so that it's level along there, but it's just catching on that side. And I'm just going to close that piece of tape back up to keep it all together. I'm sorry if my head keeps getting in the way. Right. This is the next one that we're going to do. So I'm going to do the same thing. So they don't have to be identical. These just want to be about the same. So same kind of length. So from there, you just lift that up to about there. Make sure it's level on that other side and press down. So that's the first part of creating our roof panels. So this is going to sit like that. And what I need to do now is to take that tape all the way down there. So I'm just going to lift this up, and we're going to put some glue there. So I can use my wet glue here. Oops. And it's just going to go along here. Just a little bit of it, holding that in place. This one's the same. A little bit of wet glue just there, just to hold that one in place. Then I need some more glue just there. And pull it back from the edge. So that's one panel. And then this one, do the same thing, just there. Pull it back from the edge. I do love these workshops when we get to do the project from start to finish, because it makes it so much nicer for you guys to be able to see exactly what we're doing. Right, now I'm going to take this one, like I've got here, and I'm going to remember which way I'm going, and it's going to go onto here like this. So like that. So, oops, just made a mistake. Just pull that back. Right. So it needs to go with about 3 or 4 millimeters here overlapping. So like that there. Okay. So I'm just wrapping that round. So it's going to go like that. Then you need a little snip in there. So that's going to come up, and this piece is just going to come up like that. Okay, so that's that part. Then we're going to repeat the same thing on the other side. When I need to put the other bits of glue on because I need it on, no, it's that one first. So I'll do this one first. So that's going to go and make this little cut first because I think it'd be easier. Let's just fold that couple of millimeters up like that. So it's going to go pull back there. Wet glue didn't stick. And it's just going to go onto there like that. Then that piece is going to go there, and we're going to miter those corners by cutting it at a diagonal. So that goes in. It's going to fold down there, and those two pieces are going to go up like that. Okay, so it's going to go just like that. So that's how that part of the roof is going to go on. So you can see it at the back, see like that. And if I just turn it inside so you can see there, this hasn't stuck, so I'm going to put a little bit, I don't know whether I even stuck it, to be honest. Don't think I did. Let's put a little bit of that white glue just on here. There. Get that stuck. Right. Now, we are going to need to stick this bit, but before we do, we've got to fold this side in. So this one is going to go in like that, and this side is going to go in like that. So those two sides are going to both go in. Okay, so, and then that's going to come up there. So we now need to cut that off diagonally. Whoops, let me get that tape off there. So that piece gets cut diagonally there, and this piece gets cut diagonally there. So you can see that when that all comes together, it's like that. So I'm just going to show you that little bit there, okay? Right, so the next part of this is we need this piece of acetate. Now, this piece of acetate needs to fit this. So I'm going to, it's the width of the house, and in length I've got, what did I cut it? 20 centimetres. But I need to cut the roof so that this slides into the top of there. So like that, and use your pokey tool, mine's been put away, or a craft knife, anything that's going to score it and mark it. Just like that, there and there. And then if you use your craft knife, it actually just will break off. Then this piece is going to go there. It's going to fit like that, okay? But we're going to sandwich it on the back. So we're going to use this to hold all of this down and in place. So let's do that part first. So up here, so I've got a nice neat edge all the way around like that. But we'll use our red liner tape, and we'll still go flat because we haven't stopped the top. So we'll go red liner tape just down the middle. There. Go tape across here, just using up the rest of this roll. And I've got a little bit left there, so we'll have that there. And here we go. And a bit across there, like that. So this one needs to come off. And that one will need to come up. And because I didn't take the liner off the back, you have to just snip it like I did then. So that's the first part of it. Okay, so now we take this piece, make sure you line it up with the sides and you go up to the top. Oops. But you need to be quite level, and mine isn't quite straight. Well, I'm not going to worry about it. It's not gone over the edges. It should be okay. So what I'm going to have to do, because this edge isn't now parallel with that, I'm going to have to cut it and make it level. Otherwise, this house will be constantly on a wonk. And I think that will drive me nuts because first of all, if you drop anything on the floor, it'll roll away. I mean, that's when we're living in it, of course. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at how level that white line is and is it parallel to one of these cut lines. So let me pop it on there. Wow, that's miles out, guys. Look at this. Look at how far out I cut that piece. It's completely out. So if I hadn't have trimmed that, that would have been really out and wonky. So that now means I need to take that piece off the side. Won't worry about the other side because you're not going to see it. Right, this one is now going to go over the top and tidy up the whole thing. So you can see how we're going to be making this really nice and neat. So I'm going to come back onto here with my tape, just there, across the top, just there and here. Now for speed, I'm not going to go all the way round, but you may want to, when you're working, to make sure yours is even more sturdy than mine. So like that, and we're going to take this panel and we're now just going to lay that over the top. Get it nice and neat. So there we go. Oops. Neat on both sides. Right, now we've got a lot of cuts in here and I want to make sure that this stays sturdy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these panels and just cut it in half. And I'm just going to glue it over there so that because I've cut it in half, the lines don't all marry up. They're sort of, they're a little bit all over the place. Well, that's absolutely fine because I'm using it as a panel to create strength. So look at how much stronger it is. Not as a panel to overlay exactly where I've got my detail. I just want that to go in there and create some strength, which is what it's doing. Okay, right, this bit still doesn't want to stick. Get a bit more down there. Right, there we go. Okay, so the next part of this is, I just got to get that out so it's not touching that line. There we go, there it is. The next part of it is we've got to stick that top panel together. And then I need to put some adhesive on here. But you can see how we're starting to build our tree house and we're starting to create the design. Now it's going to bother me that one's in slightly, so I'm going to just make this one come in slightly too. So I'm just going to take that up there and make that go in. Use my guillotine to make sure it's level. So here we go. So I'm just going to trim. Not quite. Got a little bit further to go. There we go. That's that one. It's nice and straight. And then this one. And this is all because I didn't make the back of that house straight. I've had to do that trimming. But that is better. So I've trimmed both those sides in, so it now at least does look like it should. It looks more aesthetically pleasing. Right. So now we've got the roof coming in here. I now need to put the front of the house on. Now, this is my front, but I need this to be super sturdy. So I'm going to take 2 more of these and use 2 together. But I'm also going to use it to make the whole house neat. So first of all, we'll use red liner tape because I think this is going to be stronger. So that's going to go up the middle to there, a V. So I've just cut that off at an angle, and that's going to come down there like that. And this whole piece is going to sit here. And we're going to place it like that, just there, put that in. And on this side, like that. Let's get you in to make sure the roof isn't going to leak. So just touching into there. And then these 2 pieces, you can see at the top, need gluing together. So we'll just get some glue on there. And if I had a weather vane, I'd stick a little weather vane in there. That would be a good one. I've actually got a flying pig at home, which is my weather vane. So there's our roof, corrugated roof. But this panel is going to go over the top. So the corrugated roof is literally going to run down the middle like that. So let's just get my hair out the way. So I'm just checking that it's all stuck as well as it should be, everywhere it needs to be. And here we go with this. So we're going to come along here, and that's up there. I'm just going to turn that corner and come down to there. Pull it back slightly, push back, peel that off, and we've now captured our house just there. Before we do that, we glue all of this together, like there. There we go. And not going to worry that I've got a little bit of my adhesive showing here, because we're going to do a lot of decoration on the roof. We're going to have a lot growing out from there. So that's the first part. The second part of this is this panel. Now, this is going to support the actual treehouse ladder. So rather than the ladder being just sort of on its own, I'm actually going to have it supported by a piece of acetate. And the other piece of acetate that I've got is going to make us a balcony. So what we're going to need to do is take this edge, and so this is a little bit different kind of construction to the sort of thing that we've done in the past, but it's a bit of fun. Actually, I've got my acetates the wrong way around. It's this one, because this one's the balcony width. So I'm just going to score really the width of my tape. So let me do that and put that straight along there so you can see where it is. And that, now that score line comes up like this, just as I've got there. So it's at right angles to the base. If I take that end back off, I can pop that like that, and it's the width of my house. So that's the first part, and it's coming out here like this. Okay, the next part of it, and I should have scored that first, but I want to show you this trick. If that goes wrong, in fact, let me do it with this. That's a 3mm, where's a 5? Oh, I'll do it with this. Right, so if you find that you need to do some scoring or some work and you haven't actually, you've glued everything together, then this is a little trick you can do. Find yourself something that you can cut against or score against. So that's what I've got here. I'm going to now take this panel and I'm just going to, so I'm going to be scoring against this board. So I've just got my panel there and I'm going to score there. So you can see that I was able to work with it against the panels. So that's that part. Now going to just fold that piece up like that. And that's where this is going to go, which is our balcony. So our balcony is going to go against that, but you can bow it if you choose to. I'm probably going to put mine on flat. And the reason I want this step here and the balcony to come out is because I want my ladder to come up inside. So I'm just going to place this down and I'm going to cut myself a slit there through my acetate. So I can actually get my finger in there now. And then I've got this piece of acetate that's going to go up there. So it's there. And that's going to have my ladder on. So my ladder is going to come up through the base of this piece. And what you can do, if you don't want it plain, you can put corrugated card on here so that it looks like it's got a wooden foundation to it. So first of all, I like to make that cut so that it's nice and neat. Then I've got my corrugated card and I'm just folding over. I just need to trim off a little bit of it. So I think it's about 2 pieces. And so this is to stop the rain coming in again. So like that. That's going to go there, like that. So we've got it. I might just make it so that it's goes off the edge like that on both sides because I think it looks super cool. So this gets pulled down. Whoops, got a few different little bits going on. But make that slit first, guys, because otherwise it's harder. So I'm just going to snip there. Oops. And here. And the other thing that the ladder does is it becomes the front of the card. So we now take the back off there and there. I lay this one down like that. So that's the first part. And this one goes on the other side. And hopefully it's just perfect. So got both of those. Now we've got to go back to where this slit is that we've cut and take your craft knife and put it back in the slit and cut. So you've now got that cut there. Don't worry, I've just scuffed it a little bit. I'm not going to worry about that. My ladder should now fit in there like that. So we've got my ladder in. This part of it is going to go up and over, but we're just going to fold over about, what have I folded over? About, well, that's wonky for a start, so let's just trim that off because it's longer than we need. Fold over about 1 centimetre, and that is going to go on top like that. So it could have gone underneath this panel, but because I've already stopped my panel down, I'm going to, whoops, it needs to go underneath. I'm going to have to do a bit of extra panelling, but that's fine, because that's what happens when you have tree houses. You have to do quite a lot of DIY. Amanda and I had the best time at the weekend designing tree houses that we're actually going to live in. So you can see there, that now comes down. So I've now got the support here. So just get that down. If you've got any, if you wanted to, you could take a little bit more of the corrugated and just place that over the edges, but I don't think I'm going to need to worry. My tree house, which has got to go up, let's put you down this way. So I'm just going to slide that down the ladder. So we'll decide how tall it's going to be, but I'm having it so that it comes out the top, because I get scared stepping off the top step. So I think it's good if you've got a little bit of extra space to be able to step up. So we can see now how that's all coming together. I'm just going to trim my acetate to get rid of this extra piece that I don't need. I've left it a tiny bit longer. My ladder's probably going to be quite a bit longer than I need. So I'm just going to get to there. And let's see where I'm going to go. I'm going to go there and there. So that's going to be my ladder. So I'll just let you see what this looks like, first of all. So I'm just going to get that piece and that piece. So that's our tree house starting together, come together. And from the side, you can see I've got a little bit of gluing to do, because we've got some gluing to do here, okay? And we need to hold these apart now. To make sure this will all go flat in an envelope, or as flat as we can get it, you need a small piece of construction acetate, and the piece I've cut off the bottom should be big enough. Move that out the way and find you. Where are you? Can't find it. So I use this piece. Actually, I think that was my ladder, but so it's a piece, and you literally are going to fold over 1 centimetre, and it's going to be the width of the roof, like that. Find out where the next crease needs to be. It's there. Trim that off. So you've made yourself like a little wedge, and that goes on there. And this is the kind of card that I would make for the grandchildren, because Grandad made them a tree house and they absolutely love it. But anybody that loves gardening, even grown-ups, we all love tree houses. But this is one of those projects just because, and I'm just going to put that little wedge there and use that to support our tree house. So it's now super sturdy. Okay, right. So now this is the best bit, because we now get to do all the decoration, and there's loads of fun stuff we can do. So first of all, I've got to do something around this roof, because the roof has got, well, it's got a little bit of storm damage on there. I'm just gonna attach my ladder just here. So I'm just putting that bit of tape down, and I'm just going to attach that ladder Whoops. Not there, I'm not, because it's not in the right place. That's why you should always go onto your card, because that just made it difficult for myself. I've stuck 2 ladders together to make this strong enough, because I didn't want it to be too wobbly. I wanted it super strong. Right, so now we're good to start doing some decorations. So my balcony can go against that piece of acetate like that. So you can see how I've now got my balcony and my house all coming together. So that's one of the parts I can do, but I'm not going to put that on until I've done some more work. My little ladder, well, that could also come to the side, or it could come straight up here. I can decide where I'm going to put it. So that's one of the other parts. I'm going to start to build and put some flowers around it. And I picked out a few other things from my stash. I pulled out some little blue flowers. I pulled out a warning keep out. I found a little wishing well. Oh, I found this greenery, which I thought would be absolutely super useful for the bottom, to be able to build that and to put behind. So I thought that could be really useful. So I'm going to start off by putting my greenery on. So I'm going to take my tape, and we're going to go all the way along there, like that. And I knew there was a reason that I didn't stick that down first, and it's there. Okay, so let's get some greenery at the back first. So I'm just going to put this on there. And then with this piece, I'm just going to do a little zigzag in the middle so that it will go on like that and create a little bit of dimension. And we'll put a bit of wet glue just there. But before I finish that off, we're going to grow some hollyhocks in the garden. So we're going to grow those at the back like that. And I'm going to grow some of them here. There's a bit of detail into there like that. So we've got the hollyhocks growing. So we'll put some glue down here. And I'm just going to slide you under there. So got those growing just over there. I've got, I'll come back and put some more on there. I've got my flowers that are going to go round my roof. So let's take my tape again. I said to you, don't worry if the tape has gone over the edge. We don't need to worry about it. I'm going to go there, and I'm going to miss a piece because I don't want it over the whole roof, and go there. But I'm also going to go above the door, just there, and down the door, just there. So we're starting to see where everything's going to be going. I'm going to do some coming up my ladder, just there. So put that just there. I'm taking my house, one of the spare houses, and I'm going to make some window boxes. So I'm just going to snip just below the window there, across. I'm going to go all the way across, just below the window, like that. And then just down the side of the door, and just down the side of the door there. Oops. And then across and take off that panel, and on this one take off that panel. And on both of these we're going to make window boxes. And before we do that, we put the tape across there and there, and foam goes, get some foam that I've got the right thickness. So that one's run out. Let's have a look what we've got. Sure must have some. I've got a little set of drawers down here, by the way, everybody. If you're wondering what I'm rummaging in. I've got a little bit here. Oh, there's some more there. Right, so I've got my red liner tape there and my foam here. So I'm just going to take that a little bit short, and that is going to go there. Right, so now lift that, snip. Okay, so I'm just taking the liner tape off first, and just going to take the liner tape off this one first. Oops. And leave the foam. Oh, got a bit of it hanging over. So just trim that there. Right, now I've got to find myself some little flowers. So I've got these and some baby hollyhocks and some more babies. So I'm just going to use the tape there. And I'm going to do some little bits of florals. Oops. Go. And put a little bit of these. Oh, let's put that one to the front. There. And another one of these. Just there. So I've just made myself a little window basket. Take the back off there. And then this sits there, like that. Then on this one, it's a little bit smaller, so I'll put the hollyhocks into the middle, and I'll put this one, just get that, just take that little bit out and put that just there. Let's just have a look and see if how that's looking. Actually, do you know, no, I'm just going to have hollyhocks on this one. I'm just going to touch those onto there like that. Whoops. Got a little bit of where I've snipped into it, it potentially could come apart. So rather than risk it, I'm just going to put a bit of tape over it, just there, so that I know that's all in place, ready. It's so exciting, the last quarter of the year, because we've got some really fab stuff coming up. And the team have all worked so hard this year to get everything together. And it's like, really is exciting. And I'm so close to having that book finished, because we've had to everything's been on hold because of tattered lace, but we're getting there now. So super, 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 super excited. Right, there we go. So that's our thing. So we can see how it's starting to all come together and really looking quite interesting, quite dimensional. So that's our little bit of grass that just pops out like that. Right, I'm going to go round the top of the door first. So I'm just going to take a look at this and see whether I think that's too big. I think it's okay, but I do think it needs some smaller tape with it as well. Now, surprisingly, this is not anywhere near as fiddly as you think it might be to do. Whoops, especially not if the glue's stuck. But let me just get the back off these bits. And then this is ready for us to start putting our flowers on. So I'm going to take those flowers and just take them up the edge of the door, but I'm not going to stick them down because I have got those much smaller. And I just want to see whether I think the smaller ones would be better, and I do agree. I think they're going to be better, and the bigger ones should go on the roof. So I'm going to put that little piece there, and then I'm going to take snip into them. And could you imagine taking one of Mel's fairies and putting that in here? But actually also the little squirrels could live in here. In fact, I'm going to ask Andrew to ask Amanda to bring me my little box of all my gathering of gatherings and let me pick a few out. Oh, I know I'm being naughty because it's not out till for a while, but I think I can find something that, oh, look at this. How cute is that? I'm going to put that one on a little bit of glue gel. So we'll pop a little bit of glue gel just on here. Oh, come on. You did this to me earlier. I had a class earlier and it did it. There we go. So there, and a little bit of extra detail just there. And I'm just going to think about whether I put that. No. And I don't think I'm going to go the whole way round. I think I'm just going to have a little bit of it growing up the bottom. So we'll put a little bit of glue just there. And I've got some little pieces left that are just going to go there. Oh, it's now making me think I should have it all the way round. All the way round or not? Yeah, go on then, I'll do it. Okay. Yep. So we'll go down here and we'll go all the way round. So like that, then that piece just going to go in there. And then I need either another one or something different. Let's have a little look. What's the smallest of these? Or I could just borrow one little flower from here. And I think, yeah, just that one. And that'll fill in the gap. So we'll just pop a little bit there. I know how to do it. I'm going to sneak that one round there. And that one that's on the dimensions there. One little one, even though it's a little bit bigger, I think it can go just there. There. Right, so now we've got all of our little tree house with our flowers round it. And now we're going to go round the top. So take the tape off the top. Oh, literally took the tape off. Not what we wanted. So I'm just going to go in there and put that on. They're just, can't even blame telly nails. So there we go. That's that and that. Right, now I could put a little bit of greenery around my roof first, so I could have like a grass roof. So just going to put this on. I've got a little gap there, so I'll need some glue. And to make that work, just make that with a little bit there. So you can just get rid of all the little bits. So you can see how that's now starting to come along. I've got a little bit of my flowers, so I'm just going to put those over the top. So we'll just use our glue gel across here and this is just the best bit of the fun part of building the design. Right, we haven't finished, so I've still got quite a lot that I want to do. So first of all, I'm going to take this tape and I need to run it right along the bottom edge of that piece of acetate that I've got there. So it's going to go right along there, like that. And I'm going to come into here and I need my greenery. So we're going to lift that up. And for the purpose of this, you need to cut this straight, otherwise it doesn't work as well. So trim that off straight and pop that on as straight as you can get it. Okay. Then we need a bit more, and it's going to be that bit I want to go at this end. So I'm going to just trim that straight. So I've got that piece just there. Still got my railing to go over the top like that. Haven't finished. We need to now come back with the tape and go behind here like that. And now you don't have to go right to the bottom because the grass is actually helping us. So we're just going to lift that piece back. Just going to get that really tight. It's not stuck as well as I wanted, so I'm just sticking that down. And then pull the back of my liner. There we go. So that's that piece. Now I'm coming back into my flowers and I'm looking for a few other pieces that I'm going to be putting in. I've got some little bits here. I've got some dandelions. These are the cutest thing. Oh, I need to get the weed killer out. I think dandelions are cute. I don't think they look like weeds at all. For me, they're like, so put the dandelions are growing in the grass. But I've also got some of these little flowers growing in as well. So put them just there, like that. Then I've got some taller grasses, so they're going to go at the back. But before I put those at the back, I need some foam on a roll. Now, I'm going to take a strip that's just a little bit shorter than the panel that I've got. And I need a piece of tape. So I'm just going to take this and run it through the middle because I don't want to get my scissors sticky. So I'm just going to use that to cut this foam because it's a little bit too tall. So I want it this deep, but I don't want that much height. So that gives me my tape. And I'm just going to put this on. So I'm going to go there. Just making sure I'm thinking about this so I'm sticking it the right way. Yes, I am. So it goes like this along here. And that one's just going to go there. So then I've got my tape at the front, which you can see. So I'm going to lift that off and just bring this here like that. So you can see that depth I've got there. So let's take a look inside. So it's all really nice and neat and tidy. So I'm just going to check my roof isn't leaking anywhere. Let's just get that grounded and check it. So we'll just have a little look at it from the front. It's still starting to come together nicely. So I've got, now I want to get some extra height just here. So I've got a few little pieces of greenery that I'm going to use. So that's one that's going to get some foam on it. So let's use some of this foam just here. Amanda's come in. Amanda, I need to put some animals in my tree house.
Okay.
What shall I have? I think squirrels.
Yeah, we've got.
Can I have squirrels, please?
We want these, don't we? Hold on.
She's brought a trillion in. Come and say hi to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
funny. Look, we've got loads.
Oh, no, it's Rosemary. Sorry.
Yeah,
Hello.
Rosemary, Linda, Lydia. I've got Teresa, and I've got Jennifer and Rosemary. Let's go. Right,
Squirrels.
squirrels. Oh, look at this, how many I've got. Can you see how many there are? Right, these are out on Friday, everybody. Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness. Oh. I know, but I need a couple of him. And I need this little one. And I need this little one. Right. So I've got squirrels, little squirrels. They're all going to be all over this little tree house. Can you hear Amanda? She's gone off going, oh gosh. We've both been in here this weekend crafting. And honestly, I've been painting for my show on Friday. I've been so happy. It's been one of the nicest weekends I've had. It was so therapeutic, and just the two of us in quietly on our own. It was just lovely. And we had a proper, really nice little weekend of crafting. So I'm just going to put those little hollyhocks there. Then I need a bit more grass. I'm going to put the bigger one behind. Let's just put that there. So that's on that bit. I'm going to put this narrow part just behind on there. And actually, do you know what I'm going to do with this? I'm going to stick two of these together, because if we do that, I can have it floating coming out the other side. So let's take that panel just there. And I've got a few little, here, these little pieces that I've not pushed right out. And they're going to make it a lot sort of finer and more delicate if I get those out. So I'm going to take those out. Oh, there's one there as well. Oh, look at that. That's made it much, much finer, hasn't it? And I think I'm just going to lift this and pop it. Well, if I am clever and I lift it up on foam, I could have that in front of there. And I think that's what we should do. So let me see about putting this foam on like that together, doubled, but I don't want it quite as deep, so I'm going to trim a bit off, and then we'll have this grass so it's a little bit further away from the edge of the steps. So right, so you're going to go there, and that's going to go there. So just push that back a bit. And I need something coming up here. So I think maybe some little fine hollyhocks might do the trick. Right, let's have a look at how this is looking now. So I'm starting to love it. I'm going to put my little squirrel up here. Now I've got a little bit of a branch there, and I just so happen to have some more of these. So I could do a little bit of this coming out of here. So let's go and put you a bit there, and a bit more pink. Where's the pink piece? Come out. A bit more here, there, and then I come up a little squirrel as if he's coming there. So that's that. Put you on. Let's get you stuck. Come on. Just get a little bit there. I think I've got a landlocked area there. Yeah, thought I did have. So that's going to go just there. So he's reaching up. This little fella is going up the stairs. So he's going to go up the ladder. So I'll just put a little bit of glue just there. This little one is going to be scampering on the top of the house, just there. This little one is going to be inside, just there. Let me take my, just need a pair of tweezers. What have I done with them? I use the scissors. Oops. Put him there. So he's just coming out the window. Sorry, you can all see my roots. This little one is going to be going up there. That's going to go there. Then I've still got my little fence to put on, so you can see how that's just going to be adding a bit more detail. Now, in front or behind? Up for in front, down for behind. Up or down? I'm going to go, I can't decide, so I'm going to go behind. Couldn't really decide, but we'll go behind. Just going to hold that in place. Probably isn't going to stick for a minute or two. So let's just hold that for a second or two. While I think about, do I need any other flowers anywhere or anything else? I need a wishing well. Let's see if I can get that to catch. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some tape on it and I'm going to cheat because I'm going to put it there and use the grass. So I'm just going to put that there and just use that little bit of grass that I've got to hold it in place. Okay, right, my wishing well. So this is why when you got these, you didn't realise why you needed all of these different sizes and everything else. Let me see if I've got one that's a middle size. Got quite a lot of them that have been trimmed. Oh, okay, let me have a look at that now. It's too big, I think. Although I like it. I'm just going to have a look at this. So I'm just going to take my glasses off and look at the proportion and decide if I want that wishing well in the front or whether I want the little one. I'm going to go with the big one. It's interesting, isn't it? Because at first I really thought I didn't want to put the big wishing well on, but I think I do because I want to put some more flowers around it. So I need to attach it to this and I need some depth to it. So I'm going to put just that little bit of tape just on the top of the roof. And I need to now stand it up and get that to hold there. So I've got it, so it's like that. We'll get Andrew to get us a shot when he gets a second. And so, although it's big, I think it's going to look right. I'm using 2 wishing wells, and I'm going to get some height to them and some depth. And I'm going to put this like this. And I'm going to just get the two of them together. And the bit that needs taping is there, there and there. Right, so like that, there and together. Right, so that should be level. I'm just going to trim the bottom flat. It's only a little bit, but just a tiny bit flat. Take a bit of the greenery and bring that to the front. Do you know what? This is so fiercely addictive, everybody, because it's like grown-up playing. It's just really good fun. And I've just had an idea of how I can make this stronger and better. And I'm just going to do that. I'm going to literally I'll pop my greenery on. And then I'm going to see what I'm going to do here, everybody. I'm just going to lift that off like that and take that away. And I'm going to put a piece of tape inside there, like that. And I'm going to go across, but I'm also going to put it on the other side. So I'm not going to take the back off until I've done both sides. I'm going to get that there, get the back off, both pieces. Now I'm going to lift this up and I'm just going to slide that in. So I've got to get it right in the right place. So lift my tree house up, make sure it's in the right place, make sure my well is in the right place, and then sandwich it together like that. So I've held it together properly now by I've just got a little bit of foam on the back that I need to get rid of, but that is holding the whole thing properly together. Okay, so let me just get rid of that piece, get rid of all of this. Now I've got a little bit more decoration to do, and I've got another squirrel. So I've got a little squirrel here that's going to be going over the top of the wishing well. So I'll put him up there. And let's put some little flowers up here. So we'll do this just as a bit of there. I've got these buds. These would be good. These little buds to tuck in just there. And I've got, what else have I got? I've got some yellow hollyhocks. Are they going to fit there? Probably a little bit big. Do they fit there? No. Desperate to try and get as much on as possible. So a little bit more glue, and we'll pop you there. And one more little squirrel. Maybe put you down here. Or do I need any more squirrels? I've still got my ladder to go. That's going to go there, like that. I'm going to use tape because I just want this to stick rather than me to have to worry about it not being dry for this class. So I'm just going to put my there. I've still got a ton of other stuff that I haven't used, which is here. So I've got my rope. Right, where's my rope going to go? Over the top of there. Then I've got this piece of rope. That's going to go at the bottom, just there. So that, get you a bit of rope there. Another one of these. So it's going to go like that. So we're just going to get you sandwiched together. Hold that. for a second. All the glue on my fingers. Come on, I just want you to stick for a second. Oh, my ladder's come off. Whoops. Stick you back. Whispering because it makes glue stick faster. I don't know if anybody else knew that. If it's late at night and you're doing a bit of gluing, it always works better if you do it late when nobody's about. If you whisper, put that bit on there. So I've got that. All my ropes are hanging. Right, one last little check. Wow, how's it going? So, let's see. So I would probably stick those two together. In fact, let's do that because that would be a good move on both parts. It would hold it all together. So let's take that back off and put that there. Get you back on. Right, I'm just going to hold this up, have a quick look myself before I show it to you all. Oh my gosh, it is just so much fun. Right, okay, you ready? Here we go. There it is. There's our little tree house. How much super fun is that? And I'm just going to put this behind so you can see it. There. And if you look at it from the side, it's lovely and neat in all directions. And there is our little tree house with our little squirrels crawling all over it. Could have robins nesting in. It is just an absolute bit of fun. Right now, I'm going to get Andrew to photograph that for everybody so you can see it. But I'm just very quickly going to show you a couple of other ideas that are really quick. So if I'm just going to move that out of the way and I'm bringing in some of my backgrounds and just so that you guys, think about when you're thinking about what you're doing. I mean, there's so much that we can do, but first of all, you get a scene like this and you think, what else am I going to do with it? Well, this is just the perfect opportunity to have a little play and to bring in, I'm just going to see if I've got one. Bring in your viewfinders, everybody. I don't think I've got one out here, but I'm just going to say to you, get them in and crop into these because they make fabulous little scenes. And you can do things like bringing in the little wishing well and all of that other detail. Bringing in things like your grasses and all of the rest of this and those lovely little florals that we've got. And you just start to create your own little stories. But they work really nicely to have them in the fields. And the other one that I found that I thought would work really well was this one. And, with those fields in the background, don't let everything come out of the back of the house because you need that to make it look like it's a complete house and it's not falling down. But again, just taking these backgrounds and it really just lifts the whole thing and takes it into another dimension. And I'm just gonna look. You just start to create these little stories that are just the best fun. And you've got all the little elements to be playing with and creating your detail. So I just wanted to say, although this makes the most fabulous 3D project, don't forget the flat projects too, because they're just a whole heap of fun. And I think it's having time for ourselves. And I know this weekend, sometimes people can be tough, and coming into work and just having a few hours on my own and planning this project and doing all the things that I did, I left here in a really happy headspace. And I hope that when you're crafting, you get to that same place, because it's a really good place to be. Thank you so much, everybody, for all of your time. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, because this is like my favorite kind of job. So thank you all. See you all soon. Good luck making your houses. When you've made your tree houses, post them online, and maybe one day we'll all get to live in a great big tree house and sit and craft, because I think that's what they're meant for. Take care. Lots of love. God bless everybody. Bye-bye.